You might have heard many times that accepting friend requests from strangers is avoided by most, especially by girls. Even in today's world, it is not uncommon that people sometimes accept requests out of curiosity. However, it can take a bad turn for a few people that it can change their whole life around. Today's recap is also about this topic. Watch out and take care. This is Laura, an optimistic and cheerful girl who likes to make lots of friends. With her naive personality, Laura hasn't seen the hidden dark world yet or ever thought about it. She enjoys going out on parties, meeting new people and having the time of her life just like an ordinary person. Laura has also found a great guy who cares about her. One day, she was sitting in her classroom while the professor was teaching the whole class about human psychology, while a mysterious girl was looking at Laura with desperation. This girl was looking at Laura while she was unaware of it. The same night, Laura receives a friend request from an unknown person named Marina. Upon looking further in her profile, she comes across many disturbing yet obscure pictures, which looked as if they belonged to a different world. On the other hand, we can see the same mysterious girl sitting and staring at Laura's picture with a smile on her face. The next day, they are seen talking to each other, where Marina, the mysterious girl, was acting a bit nervous around her, and soon Laura leaves. While spending time with her boyfriend, Laura again encounters some texts from Marina. However, blames her loneliness for it. She wakes up in the middle of the night and notices a black wasp. Suddenly, she gets frightened encountering Marina's flash, but it turns out to be her dream instead. Day by day, she was realizing Marina was stalking her on her Facebook posts. It was making Laura worried, and we can see that she was checking Marina's posts even further on Facebook and found some absurd videos. It was Laura's birthday. She was getting ready for it. In a moment, a video call arrives on her laptop. As expected, it was not other than Marina herself. Laura lied to her about having a birthday party with her friends to Marina for obvious reasons. But later Marina finds out all the pictures on internet. This was a shocking moment for Marina, and she could not handle all of this. Marina meets her at school and started to act obnoxious in front of her, which results in Marina's bald head getting revealed in front of everyone, which was pretty shameful for Marina, and she ran away from there. Marina's obsession was making Laura constantly afraid of her, and she ended up unfriending Marina from her friend list, since Marina only had Laura as her friend, which broke her heart into pieces. This enraged her anger, resulting in her doing something totally unexpected. At night, Laura was walking through her home. Suddenly, she notices a mirror, which was not present there before, and looks inside it, and finds out there was a woman walking through the woods. Suddenly, her friend arrives and the mirror was gone. While sitting in the class, Laura discovers that Marina took her own life. At lunchtime, one of Laura's close friends reveals how Marina's body wasn't found at her house, as if she disappeared in thin air. As a matter of fact, there is no record of Marina even existed in the first place. Following night, Laura wakes up at night after hearing a notification sound from her phone and checks out her laptop. She finds out a video in which Marina was seen burning Laura's picture and took her own life by hanging and burning herself. Next day at school, Laura finds out that the same video was posted to her account. It was tagged to all of her 800+ friends, which made her worry instantly. Laura's account was filled with disgusting comments from all around her friend circle. Not finding any solution, she come across her close friend, who was an ethical hacker who tries to help her get rid of her internet ID. However, the codes were changed into something he had never seen before. It was becoming a far more deeper mystery at this point. Laura was being assured by her boyfriend to not worry and forget about the incident, but Laura couldn't just let it go. While she moves away to have dinner with her boyfriend, pictures started uploading on its own on Marina's account. She befriends one of Laura's friends called Gustavo Garcia. It felt as if something brutal was waiting for him. We can see Gustavo's call gets disconnected in the middle and his laptop was shut down on its own. He hears a sound from outside his room and calls his friend's name. He suspected it might be a joke from his friends and keep walking further down the way with his phone's flashlight in hand. He gets frightened to see a scary doll in his friend's room while he is recording everything. Suddenly, he sees two scary people appearing right beside him. Right away, he walks away from there and waits for the elevator to arrive. He walks in the elevator and discovers some weird symbol language written on the wall as he records everything. Suddenly, a scary thing comes in his way and the scene is moved to his girlfriend arriving at the building. Upon opening the elevator, she sees Gustavo hitting his head brutally against the wall and eventually took his last breath, while his girlfriend witnessed everything in pure agony. Laura goes and meets the disturbed girl. Laura was constantly losing her friends, not only from Facebook but real life as well. She gets a text from her friend to check on her profile once again, and finds out the video of his friend, who was brutally suffering inside the elevator. It looked as if he was possessed by some supernatural entity. While investigating Gustavo's video, her friend encounters a weird hissing sound, which was no other than black wasps. Wasps are small black bees, who are revealed to appear whenever there's witches around. They went into Marina's room and find out about the school she used to study in. Laura finally arrives there, while her friend was finding all the clues to know more about Marina's mystery. Laura gets to know that Marina never had a good life. She used to face lots of problems with the kids of her age. Meanwhile, Laura's friend does a little deeper research and finds out that Marina used a black mirror ritual in order to turn herself into a demon. Laura's boyfriend also suffers from a sharp pain in his head and he plucks out a black bee from his ears. Laura insists him to get some info regarding Marina from the hospital records, since he was a head nurse. The two boys who did not like Marina also get karma when Marina did something brutal to them in return, and this was the reason we could see their pictures in Marina's Facebook ID later. Laura's friend who was hospitalized was looking at her boyfriend's picture while missing him. Suddenly, her phone starts to be a bit glitchy and she hears some hissing sounds. She runs out of the ward and see the same two kids with rotten faces walking that she had seen in the video on Laura's laptop. She starts running the opposite way to get away from them and enters into a room and locks it immediately. She sees blood on the floor coming towards her. She looks up and sees her own body in a bathtub full of blood. It appeared that she was seeing her own lifeless body, but it was all in her mind. She is so scared and helpless and doesn't know what to do to get out of there. All of a sudden, the witch comes and takes her life away in the worst possible way. In the next scene, Laura is seen sitting in the hospital crying where the cops approach her again and start questioning her. They asked her once again that she has to stop posting these videos of her friends dying. She gives them the same answer, that it's not her uploading them and she isn't able to delete her account either. Soon the video of the hospitalized girl can be seen once again in Laura's ID. At the same time, Laura's friends were not able to unfriend her at all, which indicates that Marina the witch was after all of them and was determined to make Laura lonely. Laura's boyfriend sneaks into hospital's record department and gathers all the information about Marina's address and her mother. Laura and her friend suspect that the house fire in which Marina's mother died was not an accident, but a ritual of some sort. Laura's friend suggests that she followed a specific ritual by taking her own life in front of the mirror, since she wanted to take the revenge. Now she has turned herself into a demonic entity. Meanwhile, Laura's friend was cleaning up her room a little. Suddenly, she encounters the printer working on its own. There were tons of weird numbers written on them. However, it was just her mind. She arrives in Laura's room and reveals how she is leaving soon and cannot live here anymore. Following day, Laura meets her mother in a church, where her mother asks her to come home with her. However, Laura wanted to figure out the mystery first. Laura and her boyfriend find out that Marina's mother was pregnant when she was burnt in the house fire. She was hospitalized in her brutal condition and doctors were able to save Marina at birth. Laura notices that her friend's picture is being uploaded on Marina's profile, suggesting something brutal was about to happen. The girl sees her computer screen getting glitched and looks inside the glass at her own reflection until a ring disrupts her. Suddenly, Marina was present at the spot. Luckily, she comes in Laura's way and soon she can be seen in the hospital. Laura leaves her boyfriend, while she herself went on at the trip to some mysterious location. It looked as if this was the same place her mother was burnt, which was their house. They nervously were walking towards the location, while her friend Olivia got off her bed and snatched a weapon from the officer. It looked as if she was trying to take his life, but instead she took her own. Laura, along with her friend, finally gets to the location, where he started to see the blurry visions on his phone and throws it away. While exploring the place, he was constantly seeing Marina, who looked pretty scary. They noticed a hidden bunker and decided to go inside it, where the guy could be found staring at the mirror. Laura comforts him and soon he himself tried to harm her, resulting in Laura running away from there. It was clear he had figured out a way to save himself, since Marina's revenge was to make her lonely. So if he put her to eternal sleep, there won't be a need for Marina to kill her. She hides somewhere and looks at the same factory photos from Marina's Facebook and decided to go to the same factory. While her boyfriend picks up the guy from the spot with no awareness of his brutal actions. He gets to know she is at the factory and arrives there. Meanwhile, Laura was looking for something. Suddenly, she gets a call from her mother and finds out that her mother is going insane. Soon the call cuts and she hears her boyfriend calling her name. She meets him, where her friend ends up taking her boyfriend's life. He was following her with wrong intentions, but Marina does something that puts him to eternal sleep. This was too much for Laura to take and she started shouting at the two scary souls who were put to eternal sleep by Marina earlier. Soon young Marina comes by and asks her to be friends with her forever, to which Laura hopelessly follows her and finds a laptop sitting idle. She looks inside and she finally can be seen in some mysterious place, where Marina takes control over her. We are moved to the scene, where Laura is turned somewhat into Marina's personality, suggesting Marina's finally made her lonely, or maybe Marina became a part of her. Don't forget to like and subscribe to End Recaps for more horror movies like this.